Welcome to the No Theme Podcast.
The CSA inspector would not have approved this unless there was a tagline, so there's obviously a tagline.
Oh, you don't want that skin slurping off.
Did you say Mjolnir rope? Is that like Thor's hammer of ropes?
Can I give him disadvantage if I hang on the bottom of the ladder?
The bars I'm hanging on to seem quite loose, and I just happen to have here in my chest a crowbar.
I mean, I think it is my fault. I think the only reason that Harry got captured is because of what I told him.
Is that a wedding cake?
We're not going to give him any actual HP. We're just going to tighten up that skin.
Yeah, I can probably do that.
I'm bigger on the inside.
What do you mean sleep, Lux? All you did was unplug a drain.
You're slowly brought back to focus because a small scratching sound alerts you that there's something else in the room with you.
Robert De Niro.
Welcome back to the Tall Tower podcast.
It's me, Robert De Niro.
Special guest today's episode. Thanks for tuning in. This is Sinéad Marguerite, Tall DM for Tall Tower campaign. I'm here with my lovely friends in no particular order. Justin Crane. That worked. Justin Crane, Josh Fritz. Okay. You know what? Adding letters. It's okay.
Sweater weather.
Justin Crane.
Sweater. Well, fuck, I can't.
Justin Karen.
Justine.
Karen is my dad's name.
Justin, Josh, Matt, and Patrick. That's all they're getting today.
And Robert De Niro.
Thank you for tuning in. We have announcements as always. We have a Discord. Come chat and look at pictures of our very cute animals. We also have a merch store. That's pretty sick.
It is very sick.
Do you need underwear? You can buy them in our merch store.
That's true.
As previously mentioned, it also has sweaters.
Sweathers.
Yep.
There's some sweathers if you want to get a sweater.
There's sweaters and stickles.
Yeah.
I mean, sweater weather is coming up.
Yeah. Sweater weather is coming up. Sweater. What's the sweater like out there today now, boss? Huh?
Pretty cold. You should put on one of them sweaters.
Sweaters. Yeah, merch store. Check it out.
And Stories from the Shore, Thursdays.
Thursday streams. Every Thursday in November.
Have a listen.
Featuring Gut Punch RP and Charisma Saving Show. It's very good. The past two recording sessions were very entertaining.
Stories from the store.
Stories from the store.
Get your sweaters today. It's like two announcements in one.
Good stuff. We're good at this.
Nailed it.
And get ready for Shutter Creek, which we're dropping in January, DM'd by Matt Higdon.
What?
It's going to be good.
We will move into a recap that I definitely wrote and I'm not going to wing. Yay! Welcome back to Tall Tower. Our heroes have been ascending Tall Tower, and throughout the journey have encountered mummy lords and horned devils, imprisoned ancient wizards, and most recently, someone actually known to them. Last episode, after getting a brief sending from King Bren, you realized you had been away from Swan's Crest for months, and in continuing your journey up the tower, encountered the first familiar face. You encountered Queen Harry's cousin Gerch, imprisoned underwater in a cage, looking very worse for wear, and, you found out fairly swiftly, guarded by a giant octopus. Eventually dealing with said octopus, you found yourselves in what was no longer a pool of water, but just a deep cylinder cut into the stone, clinging to a cage about 30 feet down the 60-foot hole, with Gerch collapsed inside of it now, finally breathing fresh air. And I believe we had Lux standing on top of it, and WB and Grimmier clinging to the outside of the slightly smashed up bars, while Judge stood above, rope at the ready. What are you guys doing?
Chilling.
Like villains.
Just hanging out.
We're just hanging, just chilling out. It's all cool down here. I was thinking if anyone wanted to get the fuck out, I could hang on, make some attacks against the cage, try to get the side off of it, and we use a rope pulley system to get Gerch up or something.
Are you guys holding on at the top or on at the bottom? Because I can keep whacking away at the bottom.
I feel like he's going to fall is the problem there.
The bars I'm hanging on to seem quite loose. And I just happen to have hair in my chest, and I open up part of my chest and haul out a crowbar. A crowbar? Perhaps you could use it on this section, and I'll move over slightly.
Yeah, that can work probably.
Well, let's give it a shot. Gee golly.
Let's do it. Well, my main concern was I was going to turn into Big Grimmier again and see if I can Big Grimmier with a tiny crowbar to try to get the bars off maybe. Or I could try a normal way, it doesn't matter.
You could do both.
It's true. I'll try the normal first, and then if that doesn't work, I'll turn into Big Grimmier.
Okay, we'll call the crowbar a help action, and you can roll. Oh,
crowbar has rules.
Ooh.
Oh, is this the right tool for the job?
Well, yes, but also using a crowbar grants advantage to strength checks, where the crowbar's leverage can be applied.
Okay, well, that was what he was going to get, so great.
Glad we clarified the help action.
Yeah. Well, you know what? At least we're doing it correctly.
It's true. Everyone got their PPE. I don't have my fall arrest.
So
no, just hold on.
Okay.
Grimmier, you're going to shuffle over to WB. WB, where are you going?
I will shuffle over further.
Climb on up.
Wait, WB, okay. I'll make some space. You can crawl underneath me to the other side.
That sounds great. And Grimmier, don't be worried. Should you fall, the ground below shall arrest your fall.
It's true. It's not that far. I mean, it's only 30 feet down.
It's 30 feet. You're fine.
Yeah.
I believe that would be a maximum of about, on a scale of 1 to 24, possibly a 24.
And I can survive that easily.
No. Closer to 18.
My B processing unit appears to be malfunctioning with my math.
So I'm making a strength check, is it? At advantage.
Yeah, advantage.
Advantage. Here we go.
Because of the crowbar's rules, not the help action.
Natural
Let's
20
keep that
and
straight.
a fucking 19. Hey.
Holy shit. Okay. With the
On
crowbar.
The dice, yeah.
Whose dice you using?
Mine. I made them.
Sick.
He weighted them.
Are able to free 2 of the bars, which gives good enough space that medium-sized creature can move into or out of the cage.
Gerch, are you alive? Can you say something?
Gerch kind of groans. He's collapsed at the bottom of the cage. His eyes are closed. But he sort of rolls his head back up, sees you, sees WB and looks a bit disturbed, then looks back to you. And again, you see that flicker of fear, but mostly he just looks exhausted. His skin is all swollen from being underwater for what seems like a quite prolonged period of time, far beyond staying in the bath for a little bit too long. It looks painful. And he meets your eyes and he kind of nods and he tries to clear his throat and Yeah, I'm okay. He starts trying to struggle to his feet using the wall behind him to support him. And
That's okay. Gerch, you preserve your energy. We'll figure this out for you, and we'll get you up top. We'll sort you out. Don't worry.
Fish the rope up underneath the hole and tie it around his waist, and I'll pull him on up, and then y'all can climb up.
Yeah.
Just don't tie it too tight, because he's been waterlogged, so we might slurp his skin off.
I'll do like a between the legs around the waist thing as like a little tiny
you don't want that skin slurping off.
butt harness. I was thinking like a little butt seat.
Yeah, I think his butt might rub off on the rope.
That's true.
I'm gonna cast a Cure Wounds on him.
Oh.
Boy, are we planning to sleep after this?
We're not going to give him any actual HP. We're just going to tighten up that skin.
11.
Okay.
What do you mean sleep, Lux? All you did was unplug a drain.
That was very, very hard.
Was it?
I'm just imagining for Cure Wounds. Cure Wounds is a touch thing, but I'm just imagining a swarm of bees going around him because it came into my head to cast Infestation on him. Just how funny that would be. But so Cure Wounds, just a tiny swarm of bees go around him and heal him with little bee dances.
Little bee kisses.
Which I'm sure is terrifying.
Yeah.
Gerch, it's fine. This is normal for us.
All right, time up.
All right, I'm gonna tie him up.
Boy, why don't we tie up somebody else and somebody else carries him up while you pull him out?
Well, Lux, you're the lightest by far.
And he's a half orc.
Well, you're strong, ain't you?
I mean,
Yeah, but I'm heavier.
not too bad, but
Oh, you mean Judge? Yeah,
remember, he's waterlogged, so he's heavier than usual.
true.
How far up is it from where we are?
30
I think
feet.
it's 30 feet odd.
Yeah.
I only have one 10-foot ladder.
You've been carrying that this entire time?
Yeah, I forgot
It's
about
collapsible.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I mean, if we're planning on taking a sleep after this, I might have a way to get him out.
it. We could lay him on the ladder and use it as like a gurney to raise him.
As a gurney.
That's a very
that's
good
a much
idea,
better
WD.
idea.
Let's
Yeah.
do that. That's
Yep.
great.
Okay, I open up my chest and haul out the ladder.
That's very disconcerting.
How?
I'm bigger on the inside.
Oh.
Time and relative dimensions and space inside of my chest just don't make sense.
So who's rigging up this stretcher?
Lux, you're good with rope.
Yeah, I can probably do that.
You're a captain of a
Okay.
ship.
I also have my own rope, so I will tie knots.
Did you say
around multiple
Mjolnir
things.
rope? Is that like Thor's hammer of
Yes,
ropes?
yes, it is.
Mjolnir
Yes.
rope.
Mjolnir
It's,
rope.
Only the worthy can touch it.
Except for Lux. So Judge is fucked.
Lux actually weighs 6 pounds, but
Yeah.
Mjolnir
rope.
rope makes up the majority of his density.
Yeah. Yes.
If Lux is doing it based on your experience on sailing ships and rigging, I'll give you advantage. You can roll sleight of hand for
Okay.
properly
Hey.
getting this rigged up.
Okay. I should be good at this.
Should.
Oh, now I roll a 17 and an 18, so it's going to be 27.
Hell yeah.
Very good. You fashion quite the stable, balanced platform for this exhausted half-orc to be raised up on.
The health and safety officer standing like 10 feet away is just like
Fabian with
Good
his.
But then he
fucking
puts his
Fabian
thumb
with his
down
little
'cause
tiny white hard hat.
Yeah. Then thumbs down because we're not wearing hard hats. Like, oh yeah. Sorry, mate.
None of them fit me, Fabian, alright? We've been over this.
Takes his tiny little hard hat off and just throws it to the ground.
All right, Judge, pull him up.
All right, heave ho.
We'll help for the first 7 feet. Then it's
Sure. With everyone helping, Judge, make a strength check with advantage.
Can I give him disadvantage if I hang on the bottom of the ladder?
I mean, yes.
No, I'm not going to do that.
That's a
That
dirty
would be
20.
funny.
Okay.
Ooh.
You're good. You haul Gerch up and get him up to the top with you. The other three are still down, clinging to the side and top of the cage. Judge, why don't you give me a medicine check?
Can I, before we pull them up, that knotted rope that he had, Lux, could you have tied that to the bottom of the...
Oh, yeah.
To the bottom of the thing?
The CSA inspector would not have approved this unless there was a tagline. So there's obviously a tagline.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fabian insisted.
24 on medicine.
Okay. You give Gerch a once-over once you get him up on the solid ground. And you see that he has probably been in this state for days, it looks like. He does not look like he's in good shape. He is conscious, and the healing spell the WB gave him definitely helped. He looks a little bit brighter, eyes more awake, but his skin is so painfully waterlogged, and he looks just completely run down. He, even you think probably before this instance of what you can only really think of as torture started, you don't think he was being well taken care of. He looks fairly malnourished. From a technical standpoint, Judge would note that this individual has the signs and symptoms that would be recognized to equate to level 4 exhaustion.
Oofa doofa. Well, you seem all right. Just lay right there. I'll get my mates up and we'll get at it. I'm gonna drop that rope back down, and I don't know if y'all want to climb up or I'm pulling you up, but I think our best bet is I'll pull up Lux, and then I'll pull up WB, and then we can all help pull Grimmier up. Because, I mean, he's a heavy boy. He's lithe, but dense.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could probably climb up.
I mean, yeah, fill your boots and just drop the rope down.
Yeah, I will jump onto the rope and climb up like the dexterous rogue that I am.
All right, make a dexterity check.
I don't know why I did that. Nat 20 plus 5.
Fuck yeah! You basically dance up the side of that wall.
Oh, look at you shimmying.
Oh yeah, I feel great now that I'm not underwater. Fuck that shit.
I mean, you dove in.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was important. We saw Gerch down there, and I thought I had to go grab him.
We did.
And then I realized I'm not very good in the water. I'm much better on a ship deck.
That makes sense. I'll drop the rope back down. Well, the rope's already down, so WB, you can grab a hold.
I will help pull.
All right.
I'm heavy.
Can I do with advantage since I got the help now?
Yeah.
This seems like a good time to cast my newly prepared spell, Enlarge, on myself.
Yeah.
26.
I was thinking the
All
same
right,
thing.
no problem. Get WB up as well.
All right. And now all three of us help to get Grimmier up.
Hello.
Hello.
Why, mate? Just tie yourself a harness around your butt, and we can help you get you up.
Okay.
I rolled 2 nat 1s, and then a 1 on my guidance.
Grimmier, you get the rope tied around you, and yet you
You snap
give
the
me a
rope.
dex saving throw.
I'll hit him with the feather fall.
Hold on.
That's my reaction.
1 second. I might have, when I'm not incapacitated, I get a +2 to my dex saving throws.
Or I can just hit you with my feather fall for a reaction, and then you're weightless.
Oh, sure.
Well, if he manages to dex save, he'll just catch the bars instead of falling.
Let's do a dex save first.
Oh, okay, fine.
Do not burn a spell. 12? Wait. wait. 14. Plus
That
2.
look of like...
Plus 2. 14 total.
Okay, yeah, you managed to catch. You got one hand on the bars, so I'll say you just barely catch yourself.
And the other one is smoking a cigarette.
We'll put the cigarette out and focus on getting me out of this hole.
Oh, sorry. I got the tune stuck in my head when I saw Lux dancing.
God damn it. God's damn it.
So sorry.
It's okay. I managed to catch myself.
You want to try again, or you want to try climb up, or you want me to pull you up?
I could
If
try
you want to
climbing.
make if you want to make a dex check, then you can try and climb up the rope that's anchored up at the top by your friends.
I will do that. Trying to think if I don't want to waste anything to give myself advantage. 16 total. Straight dex?
Yeah, straight dex. Yeah, that gets you up for sure. So
All right.
everybody is back up at the top with a very exhausted Gerch, who is awake and looking around with a mix of confusion and suspicion and fear on his face. He hasn't said anything yet, and he doesn't look like he's eager to talk.
So, sorry, DM, you said he was looking like he's suspicious of us?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if you'll let me do this, but since you said we know each other very well,
Yep.
Can I walk up and do our super secret handshake to get him to be like, oh yeah, you are who you say you are?
I love this so much because specifically in my notes, it says that throughout the course of the war, Gerch and Lux would have had such specific secret drops to identify each other that only you would be able to identify if this was actually Gerch. And it was through, so yes, you can 100% go up and do that. So you go up and you initiate one of the methods of recognition between the spies of the Lustrous Dominion, and you see the confusion fade from his face and the relief set in, and he responds slowly, but he responds appropriately, and he finishes what you guys use to recognize each other, even if you had both been, as times had previously had happened, in disguise or otherwise occluded from view. So yes, this is Gerch, and Gerch now is a lot more comfortable and seems to be looking at you with a lot less suspicion. He stares at you, Lux, for a while, and then he looks at Grimmier and Judge. And Judge, you wouldn't know him super well, but you're aware of who he is.
A lot of evidence gathered by him has been entered into my court.
Yeah, and he was Queen Harry's cousin, so he would have been in and out of the court at some points, even though it would have been quite secretive since he was undercover with the enemy. So watching you guys talk about whether you want to rest and speaking in terms of him that are fairly caring as to his well-being, and then Lux cinching it with knowledge that is fairly secretive, Gerch has become more relaxed, more open, and he turns and looks at you all, and he says in a real rough sounding voice, "Are you guys really here? What are you doing here? Are you guys really here?" He starts, his eyes scan your bodies and looks at the gear that you're wearing. And specifically, it lingers on the colors that Grimmier's wearing. Judge, it lingers on the icons and small details in your hammer and the metalwork on your, like, the clasps of your clothes and stuff like that. And he breathes a huge sigh of relief, and he says, "Okay, I've been here a long time, I think. I'll just lay it out for you guys. I was tortured for so long. The creature that brought me here is incredibly powerful. I told them more than I thought I would ever tell anyone. I thought that I knew what it would be like to be captured in the war, but they were able to get everything from me. I have been stuck in this cage underwater since and he, at this point, just sort of like collapses back onto the ground, and tears start running down his face. And he says, they didn't need any more information. They got everything. They got Harry. I've been stuck down here since I saw them put her up in that cage in the laboratory. I don't know. But the one thing that it didn't matter, I guess, but I was able to I never told him about the swans. And on your armor, because you're all of Swan's Crest, you have small emblems. And King Bren gave you that small swan in the pouch. It looks like Gerch, in all the torture, managed to keep one small bit back to himself. And as he breaks down further, he starts babbling, and you get the impression that amongst the torture to get information from him, he was beset by illusions of his friends coming to rescue him so that whoever was torturing him could get the depth of information that he would only give to people that he cared about.
Those bastards.
Listen, Gerch, I know that you must feel like this is your fault, but it certainly is not. I mean, they did pretty horrible things to you, and that just ain't right. Not in Judy's eyes, in everyone's eyes. This place is pretty dark. We've seen some pretty dark stuff, but not as dark as what you've seen by the sounds of it. Do you know if you were taken before Harry? Or were you taken at the same time?
Long before. I was on a mission from the royal couple. I was out beyond the borders of the Lustrous Dominion, just looking to see what other powers were about, what allies could be had, what pacts could be made, and one night I was abducted by strange undead creatures. I found myself imprisoned in this tower for I don't know how long.
You're likely one of the leaks or moles that they're using to sow dissent back in the kingdom.
I think that I was captured. What's a good landmark? The war was won. The war had been won for maybe 5 years. And then after I was captured, all the creature seemed to want to know was who was at the heart of the forces that defeated his forces in the war. And I mean, I think it is my fault. I think the only reason that Harry got captured is because of what I told him.
Listen, Gerch, it absolutely isn't your fault. And the swans wasn't the only secret you kept from him. Because another secret is we all got hearts. So you can't just take one and think that that's done. So we're still here. We're still breathing. We got this. Now let's have a nice meal and take a little nap. And we'll get right back to ass kicking. If we're all right committing to a rest, I'd love to feed everybody with my new power. Are you all right if I cast Hero's Feast?
We will say that was, yeah. Yep.
So are we going to take a long rest?
I'll take first watch. After we eat.
All right.
Eat first.
After we eat. All right. If there's one thing everybody knows about Judy is she's a hell of an entertainer. She loves throwing dinner parties, so here's her finest spread.
This feast is Judylicious.
It is Judylicious. Well, yeah, it's basically a table straight out of the Lost Boys scene in Hook, where if you can imagine it, it's there.
How long is are we taking a long rest?
Yeah.
Yeah, how long is a long rest?
8 hour.
I can watch for 6 hours.
Okay.
Sweet.
Actually, I can just take the entire 8 hour watch. Because for me, for a long rest, it's just 6 hours in an inactive, motionless state.
Oh, cool.
But
I can take
what I can see and hear is normal.
If you need 2 hours, I can take the first one.
Judge can definitely take at least an hour. Might not hurt to have the ones with perception to do the watching.
Oh, you know, that's a great point. Maybe I should stop volunteering.
As soon as Grimmier volunteered, Lux is like, sweet, I'll sleep through the night. I don't mind.
Alright, so Hero's Feast. We gotta eat for an hour.
I'm so full already. An hour?
Shut up and eat.
God.
Judy sent this. You will eat it.
How many courses?
17.
Oh. What's for dessert?
Which dessert?
Is that a wedding cake?
We've already had one dessert.
Creature who partakes in it gains several benefits. The creature's cured of all disease and poison, and they become immune to poison and being frightened, and they make wisdom saves with advantage.
Hell yeah.
And your hit point maximum also increases by 2d10.
Oh, do you roll that?
Yeah, I roll it as the spellcaster. I'm assuming that just because next to the spell is a clicky thing for 2d10.
Correct.
Don't fuck me. 13.
Whoa.
That's not bad.
So, who's taking first watch? WB, are you going right away, or
Judge will
I'll
take
watch the
first
whole
watch.
time.
Okay. Well, yeah, no.
But if
let
you want
Judge
to join
watch.
me, go for it.
Yeah, Judge will watch the first time, and then he'll go to bed for 6 hours and kind of give you a quick guidance before he goes down. If you're going to be there the whole time, you can give me assistance on the first one.
Sure. What's your perception?
+8.
Same. I'll give you advantage.
Lovely. 28. I perceive the liquid leaving Gerch's body.
so we're doing two people on watch?
Yeah,
Okay.
for the first 2 hours.
Okay. So you guys can roll together, or one person can have advantage.
Judge already rolled with advantage from WB.
Okay. And you
You
got
got-
that was the 28?
That was the 28.
Okay. You hear more of that buzzing from upstairs that you heard earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And as it's quiet and people fall fully to sleep and WB is eerily still, you're able to hear all of the ambient noises. And there's the sound of not water in a pipe, but almost a skittering far off. There's just the hint of a weird stench that reaches your nostrils, but nothing appears to be immediate to the room. You're hearing strange noises from down in the depths of the hole that you guys drained the water out of, and different strange but quiet noises from up the stairs that lead away from this chamber.
WB, I'm gonna go to sleep now, but just keep in mind to the buzzing sound coming up from that stairwell, and there's some weird slurping sound coming from the pit. Actually, before I turn in, can I go over to the pit and look down by the plug and see?
Sure. Are the torches all still lit?
They'd still be lit. I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy to increase the brightness.
Okay. Then roll your perception check.
Natural 20.
Okay.
So with it actually it'd be like a 32 because I rolled a 4 on my guidance.
You can't see anything in the pit. There's nothing in what once was a pool of water. What you can see at the bottom is the metal drainage cover moved aside, and what you can hear echoing strangely up this cylinder of rock is noises coming from whatever channel or pipe or passage the water went out through. You're not sure what they are, but there's sort of a scraping and skittering that sounds faint, but it's oddly echoed and therefore a little bit intensified because of the tunnel-like structures of both the tube that the water would have drained out of and then the cylinder that the water was in. So it's just a strange echoing shape that amplifies this ambient noise. It's nothing you haven't heard in 1,000 rundown places that you've slept before, but obviously this is a strange place, so it's up to you what you make of it.
No, I'll leave it alone. Just pass it along to WB. There's definitely something down there. I just don't know if it's coming towards, moving away, or if it was just always there and we can only now notice it because there's no water.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Good man. All right.
Okay, someone else getting up to...
Yeah, WB's keeping going. When I say good man, I'm gonna give him a pat on the shoulder and cast guidance on him before I go to sleep.
Yeah, I'll. How far away is the pit from everybody?
I think we're just on the edge of it, are we not?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's only like a 10-foot skirt of stone around the outside of it in this room, so you guys would be sort of spread out around the pool.
Okay. Well, I'll just sit in a place that's where I can see everybody and the pit as I enter my 6-hour sit-still phase.
All right. And what's the wording for that? Like, do you roll active perception or is it just your passive perception?
When you take a long rest, you must spend at least 6 hours in an inactive, motionless state rather than sleeping. In this state, you appear inert, but it doesn't render you unconscious, and you can see and hear as normal.
Okay, so you're relying on your passive perception then.
Well, I can see and hear as normal.
Yeah, but you're in a passive state, right? So you're not actively watching.
Yeah. My passive perception is 18.
Okay. As you sit or stand inert and watch, the first part of the night goes by without really anything changing. You're aware, since Judge pointed out those strange sounds that were coming from both below and then the strange buzzing from above. And at one point, you're slowly brought back to focus because a small scratching sound alerts you that there's something else in the room with you. And as you look around, a dark shadow that is not cast by the torchlight is clinging to the edge of the stairwell that leads up and further into the tower.
And can I see the shape of it, like the outline of it? Does it look like a creature or a person?
It looks like a hazy, creature-sized shadow has jammed itself up into where the ceiling curves into the wall of the stairwell. So it's a little bit obscured from view because it is still in the stairwell. But you get the feeling that there's something there. It's not inanimate.
And it is invisible. Like I can't clearly see what it is, obviously.
You can't clearly see what it is, but you see a shadowy creature.
I will cast light on it.
Okay. I will get you to roll initiative.
22.
Track change. Dun 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 dun.
22.
Oh my land.
Okay. You cast light. Can you read me that spell?
If you target an object held or worn by a hostile creature, that creature must succeed on a dexterity saving throw to avoid the spell.
Okay.
It's a dex save of 12.
That is... Oh man, that's a 12.
Fucker.
He just makes it. They hiss audibly now and skitter up to their full height and step out from the stairs into the chamber that you guys are all in. And you see this horrible, shadowy creature with tendrils reaching out from it. As it hisses, a tongue that is just entirely too long comes out of its mouth and twists around. Are you going to do anything else on your turn?
Can I cast another spell?
No.
Alright, I'll just yell everybody, everybody to wake up.
Okay.
I'll sound the air horn, like the old war one. Yeah. Thank you.
It's just the bees getting excited.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone is shaken awake. It's probably only been
Shake and wake.
3 or 4 hours since you bedded down to this horrible noise that bees make in alarm. And I think that is where we'll call this episode. We can find out what this horrible shadow creature is next time on Tall Tall Tower.
Dun dun dun.
But I'm so ready to reveal my new cantrip.
Ooh.
Thank you so much for listening to the No Fame podcast. The best way to support the show is just by listening, which you're already doing. Amazing. The second best way to support our show is by telling your friends. Hey, why not, right? You can find links to our podcast, YouTube, Discord channel, social media, and so much more at nofame.ca. You can support the show for as little as a toonie at patreon.com/nofamepod or buy us a coffee at ko-fi.com/nofamepod. Thanks again for listening, and we will catch you later on.
And play a game that Justin plays, which has zombies in it.
It's true. Me and Retson and Josh popped on for a hot minute, and there's another one of Retson's friends was on for a hot minute.
I bought the game. I
Good
haven't played it
job.
yet.
It's good fun.
Thank you.
It's good fun. I enjoy it.